Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the post-game show for the game between the Pies and the D's. The Magpies have done it. The Port Adelaide Magpies defeat Gold Coast, and the Collingwood Football Club are walking into September with a double chance. How bloody good. Most likely, I think we're going to see Adelaide. We're going to see Adelaide in a qualifying final. How good is that? Looks like I'm going back to Adelaide. Oh, look, we'll dive into the game against Port Adelaide. The Demons. Ultimately, we got the win. We were walking in hoping for a 60-point win, but we had to bite off all of our remaining nails, hanging by the faintest of margins to our fingers. Man. Hey, are we the comeback Pies again? That's the question we've got to start asking in the chat. Are we the Magpie comeback kings again? I don't know. Well, we're down by 15, 16 points after Petrarca kicked that goal early in the fourth. I think it's time to get a cheeky little Manny. A cheeky little Manny. Where's my AirPods? All right, we'll get Manny. All right. Ella, Manny, get in the chat. Let's have a yarn. Where are ya? Where's Manny? Manny's daydreaming. Ella, Manny. Look, while we wait for Manny, I'm just looking back at the game against the D's, and yes, the first quarter we have the scoring shot differential, and we're not converting, and then the D's, they go into quarter time 5 goals won. Beyond that, there is a little bit of the method that is still missing. Again, it felt like it took us to get to the final 10, 15 minutes of the game to really open it up. And for me, it seemed like a Scotty Pendlebury was the one who had to bite off the difficult kicks and just lift. Benny, thanks for the 5 gifted members, brother. I appreciate you. And thanks for the night out. And $5 for Rosie. I appreciate you, mate. Yeah. Yeah, Rosie was definitely looking down on us tonight. That's for sure. Absolutely. Mixed Day. Mixed Day had one of those games where it wasn't his game by any stretch of the imagination for Dan McStay. But he simply took that moment in the last quarter, decent mark, had to finish, had to convert. But I suppose questions will be asked throughout the week. Do I ultimately think McStay is still going to be dropped? I don't think so. I think he still holds value structurally, even though he's playing like a broken man. Yeah, it's not ideal, is it? It's not ideal. Guys, you know what? Can I ask, since you guys are here for the post-game show, let's make this a very quick poll, yeah? Do you want fan reactions? Because at the end I did come out with a post during the week, but now I'm thinking let's leave it to you guys. Fan reactions, or are you happy for just like a Pies footy reaction? What would you prefer? And then we can go from there. If it's unanimous, obviously. Someone tell Teresa, thanks for the 5. Someone tell me why they stopped playing corridor. It's where they look so dangerous. Did the same against. I know. I don't. It's just for tonight. It felt like there were moments of hesitation, and if you hesitate for half a second, how many times would we take a mark forward center in our forward half and not pull the trigger? How many times would we just slow it down? Sometimes I'd rather us go inside forward 50 without our defensive wall set up, because it means their defensive wall is not going to be set up. It means we're going to have more opportunities to create chaos in that forward line. Would you rather crows or cats? And great question. Great question. Look, at the end of the day, you've got to beat them all. So, for me, I kind of want that Adelaide game back. If we can get that, that would be ideal. I think it's obvious we have something over the Adelaide Crows right now, don't we? We have history on our side. We have travelling well on our side. It's one of those ones. Crows for sure. Crows easy. Yeah. Look, the Cats, from my perspective, the Cats do intimidate me more than an Adelaide Crows side. Probably for the reasons just explained, and me growing up as a kid, my track record or my recollection of games against Geelong, a lot of them don't go in the favour of the Collingwood Football Club, typically. What do we do? Jeremy Howe, is it confirmed he has popped a groin? I mean, did we feel like we missed him in that game? Maybe not, but there are games potentially where we're going to need some heroics from Jeremy Howe. And then Beau McCreary, he got through the fourth quarter, but is there some element of hamstring awareness? Is that what they were testing? I think that was probably Billy Frampton's best game, in my opinion. Crows don't scare me at all. Cats do. Exactly. That's sort of where I stand with this. That's where I stand with this, for sure. Just having a look. What type of fourth quarter? Does anybody have the numbers for the fourth quarter that Scott Pendlebury had? He was outstanding. He was outstanding, that's for sure. Somebody, if you check the AFL app, I don't have my phone on me right now, but if you check the AFL app, go to the fourth quarter, tell me what. Oh, his foot was stood on. Brilliant. Okay. Brilliant. All right, why is that not doing its thing? Billy Frampton, 4 contested marks, 9 intercept possessions was a team high. There you go. So Spaniard, I thought a lot of Melbourne's ascendancy came through the middle, through their contest, through their clearance work. Do the stats point to that? What does it say? So 12 clearances, 5+ center clearances. I think it felt like they scored heavier from center clearance, and I think ultimately when you're versing one-on-one in the back line, they're going to have better looks, and they just slingshotted the ball better than us at times throughout the game. And that's look, all this forward half territory, is it counteractive against the way the game needs to be played in 2025? Do you want that to be the game style that you lean on game after game after game? Because, yeah, you own the territory, you slow down the play so you can set up the defensive wall, but it allows for opportunity for the opposition team to rebound and slingshot. They can withstand, they can hold up. They only have to, look, if we're going to Jamie Elliott and putting it on his head when he's playing on Stephen May, I thought that was a matchup that had to change. It worked. we know if the ball is on the deck and if the ball's moving swiftly from end to end, that matchup is going to be a nightmare for Stephen May. But the way the game was played, why are we persisting with that matchup? Why can't we find a mix up in those matchups? Why can't we get Mychek to pass Stephen May? Why can't we get McStay to pass on to Stephen May? Sacrifice Stephen May, Dan McStay. If Stephen May is having a really good game and McStay is not playing great at all, I think you just simply need to be the sacrificial lamb and play on him. Yeah. Look, Elliott can play small or tall, but it just, the way the ball is being fed into the forward 50, it just wasn't the game to persevere with it. What do we got here? Shehan, thank you for the $7.99, brother. I appreciate you. What are we saying, Teresa? What are we saying? Teresa, have to give Houston his flowers. He was huge. I was talking to Benny throughout the game, and I thought he was playing quite safe, and I think that worked himself into the game. He had a couple of intercept marks. He's had 2 good games. Was he huge? Was he huge, guys? Let's have a look. I just want to look back at Dan Houston's game. 7 intercept possessions, which is just one beneath, or a couple intercept possessions beneath Billy Frampton, who was a team high. 3 score involvements. How many touches are we saying? 22? Yeah, I wouldn't say it was. Yeah, I'd probably say it's borderline huge. It's definitely the response we needed from a Dan Houston, and he takes that into the finals. You know what's funny? I thought Nick Dacos was relatively quiet. I don't know how you guys saw the Nick Dacos game. I don't know how you saw that play out. He just looked, I don't know, his running capacity didn't look amazing. This is me being at the game, but 27 touches, 5 tackles, 5 clearances. I don't know. Only 4 score involvements. So that probably tells a large story about Nick's game, who normally sits at around 10 to 12 score involvements per game, doesn't he? But Geordie, guys, Geordie de Goey. You forget why you love Geordie de Goey in his team. He owns the moments, and he's just within the contest. Now, while we didn't dominate in the contest, Geordie certainly had moments coming out of the centre bounce, especially early in the game. I think he hit up a couple. He scored from a centre bounce. I think his just his cleanliness in that stoppage to be able to just ram his way through the contest, but also take the ball cleanly and feed it out. There was a couple times where he just found a way. That's the game we needed from de Goey. Mate, I was happy if de Goey had 15-3 or 20-1. He walks away with 26 touches, 11 contested possessions, 8 score involvements, 6 clearances, 4 centre clearances, 4 tackles. I mean, if not a great deal went right for the Pies tonight, the margin, inefficiencies in front of goal, the connection was lacking, Jeremy Howe injured. One of the things we can walk away with is Jordan de Goey is looming ominously for the rest of the league, who are going to be a part of the final series. And to make matters worse for the rest of the league, Collingwood have a double chance now. And everyone's going to write us off, guys. Everyone's going to write us off going into this final series. Hey, do that at your own peril. Do that at your own peril. As long as I've got Jordan de Goey in my team, Nick Dacos, Scott Pendlebury having the last quarter that he did, I'm not fussed. De Goey was only just off. What do you mean, Hugh? De Goey was only just off. Howie 2 weeks plus. Look, it's unfortunate. It's a dagger. It is a dagger. But like Billy Frampton is playing immensely, and Darcy Moore's doing enough. I think Darcy Moore played better tonight than he did last week, and last week he played better than the week before. And then you got Bruzzy, you've got Quaynor, you've got Maynard, and then now Houston on the wing. They're all just playing cohesively as a unit in that back half. I thought Lockie Schultz was huge. He presented well. His tackling pressure is always there. Kicked a critical goal, missed one, and then vindicated himself shortly after. We're going to finals now with no expectations, right where we want to be. Is that real? Do we all feel that way? Do we feel like we're going into the final series without expectations? I don't think so. I'll make a poll. Let's go end poll. Guys, 275 live viewers in the chat. Thank you all for being here. Guys, if you're new to Pies Footy, please be sure to subscribe. We do live stream every single day and have done so for the last 3 weeks, 6 p.m. on the weekdays, and then whatever time sort of is forced upon us based on the fixture. So if you want to stick around for the final series and be a part of something special, it is here at Pies Footy. Let's go. I don't think we're going in without expectations. I think we're still going in with huge expectations because of how the season's panned out and what the MO was at the start of the season. What was it? What is it, guys? Something operandi? Modus operandi. There we go. Are we going into finals without expectation? Yes. No. Fuck no. How about that? Let's see. Is it unanimous? The free kick differential. Hey, I mean, holding the balls, great pressure by Port. Zach Butters carries. The Port Adelaide Magpies have done us a favour. It's funny, isn't it? How it all pans out. Let's go. Yeah, so it seems it's quite clear. I can understand the idea for someone. Look, we're proud supporters, aren't we? So from our mindset, we have high standards as a fan base, don't we? So if we allow ourselves to go into this as fans with no expectations, I can understand the sentiment. I can understand going in without expectations. Maybe that permeates into the club, into the players, and those players play freely because it does feel like we're playing a little hamstrung at the moment. We're lacking a little bit of bravery, a little bit of freedom. I can see that for sure, but I don't think that should be the narrative going into it. And I'd be very surprised if Media Street, SEN, Fox Footy, I'd be surprised if they were to suggest that Collingwood will get a free hit in the finals. It's not like that. Look, we just clinched top 4, right? An hour ago, I was shitting myself. An hour ago, maybe an hour and a half ago, I'm like, we're down by 15 points against the D's. We're not even going to give ourselves a chance to finish top 4. Imagine we lost that game and then we see Port do that. Where's the justice? And yeah, the top 4 chance, what does it give us? It gives us more time to continue to get these things right. Like there's so much that is going right for us. I don't know what the territory ended up being, but I think we owned 60% of forward half territory for the most part of the game, definitely for the first half. So we build on that. We've got DC who's doing his thing in the back half. He was probably beaten by a better Max Gawn at times, but even that tackle that he absorbed in the last minute or so, was that guys? I saw him stumbling on his feet when he got up. I'm not sure if there's anything that's developed since then. But yeah, while Darcy Cameron was probably beaten by Max Gawn, he still had his moments in the air in our back half and kept Max Gawn accountable. How many intercepts? 3 intercept possessions. So it was a lighter game by Darcy Cameron for sure. But in that moment, he was crucial. What things do we have going right? Well, did I just not mention it, Sean? What things do we have going right? Billy Frampton, Darcy Moore, Jordan De Goey, which is massive. especially these two in the absence of Jeremy Howe. You have Beau McCreary, who survived another game and was important, an important pressure player. You have Dan Houston, who's been a raging success thus far on the wing. That's going well. Jack Crisp had another decent game, didn't he? Did he not? Or we don't agree with that. I thought he was all right. What else was a pass? What else was a raging success? Our territory. Rowan Steele played okay. It's just the forward half connection and our inaccuracies in front of goal. Inaccuracies in front of goal right now. Schultz is going well. Yeah. Look, the problem is the way we play, that forward half game we play, we don't have that key forward that is just going to clunk those big marks like a Riley Thilthorpe. Do I put Ben King in there? I don't know. I think Riley Thilthorpe is in an era of his own right now. Maybe Mackay in the form he was in the last couple of weeks, if you want to throw him into the mix. Yeah. Look, it wasn't great against a Melbourne side. Yeah? Let's be honest. It wasn't great against the Melbourne side. But were we not more than impressive against the Crows, who are the premiership fancies? Well, guys, we went into this game. Come on, let's be honest. We went into this game against these. No, we all knew we needed to win to give us the best chance to play in the finals with a double chance. We needed to win by what? 8, 9, 10 goals, perhaps. That was the theory, but we didn't think that was going to be the case. The realist in us all, that's the optimist, the realist in us all knew that Melbourne are a much better side than they were when we met 12 months ago. Same round, same location. They had Petrarca still. They had players. Sorry, they didn't have Petrarca back then. They had players now that they didn't have last year. They had Melksham, who's in great form. Cozzy Pickett's in great form. It was going to be a hard matchup. Of course, you don't think they wanted to do everything in their power to spoil our party? Did you not think they wanted to come in and say, hey, Stephen May, come on, you're telling me he's not G'ing up the lads in that pre-game speech? Telling him, hey, come on, let's put a severe dent in Collingwood's premiership tilt. Mate, I could feel the weight of Australia weighing on my shoulders, our shoulders, Collingwood's fans' shoulders, when we were down by 15 points. I don't know, when Petrarca kicked that goal, I was picturing Carlton fans texting all their mates and with one hand and jerking and stroking the sausage with their other while they're watching Collingwood versus Melbourne. They've got the moisturizer out in that fourth quarter. They're getting off to it. They were getting off to it, and that made me sick. It made me sick at the prospect of what we had to deal with tonight. It was a hard watch for the majority. It was a hard watch. It was a hard watch, but I still think there's things to like. I think there's things to like. All right, let's put a poll. What a night from doom and gloom to blue skies. Don't mind it, Mick. All right, let's ask a poll. Thoughts on our last 2 weeks, okay? More to like, more to worry. If that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying anyways, right? Is there more to like or is there more to worry? Curious. Nick says, trend of the last few weeks have been dominating the game for large periods of time and not putting it on the scoreboard. Then we allow opposition sides to score heavy in small amounts of time. And Melbourne are a team that don't really hold up very well defensively in 2025. They're not the same stubborn, bullish side that they have been in the last few years. But you know what they are? What they have been is they've been an extremely efficient side when they go inside forward 50. I think we mentioned in our stream throughout the week that they are one of the most potent sides going inside 50. Let me just clarify that, right? So if they hold up well defensively and do the job there and can and withstand the ongoing siege that the Pies put upon them, let's see here. We're talking about goals per inside 50, scoring shots. So for scoring shots per inside 50, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the league for the season, one below us, right? I dare say the last 10 games has been better. 6th again. Last 5 games, form is important, no? AFL average, okay. So top 5 means they're going to get their lick of the ice cream going forward. It's just a matter of, can we punish them enough going our way? And when we did have scoring shots in the first quarter, we didn't capitalize. And then when we had consistent pressure in our forward half, we couldn't find a way to register a scoring shot. If we play Crows, Rankin being out frees IQ to play on someone else. How can you say more to like when we just won? If we don't turn things around, we'll get blown out in 2 games straight against better opposition. So MD, does the game against Adelaide count for nothing though? The number 1 side in the league, the number 1 side tipped to win the flag. Do we just completely disregard that game? That performance? Emma, right after MD. Don't forget the Demons pushed the Doggies and nearly got the job done. On their day, they can be hard to beat. They've got superstars in their team. They've got Max Gawn. They've got Cozzy Pickett. They've got Jake Melksham, who's dangerous in front of goal. Petrarca when he's on. Oliver doesn't mind it. May had an outstanding game for the most part against Jamie Elliott. More to it, Bernard. The game against Adelaide took a lot out of us. We looked stuffed from the start. To come back like that and claw victory from the bowels of defeat was magnificent. The fact that we were on all fours in that last quarter, we could have just given up and we didn't, and we got that comeback energy. We've restored that. You come back from an exhausting game against Adelaide, tough conditions, stoppage after stoppage. They're probably all battered and bruised, and you come back and, was it the most convincing win? Is it the win you want going into the final series? No, it isn't. And we get a break. Fly just said Howe done a groin 3 weeks out until if we make preliminary final. Pendles went back when Howe went out, and look what happened. Is that a good move? Totally. I don't think, did Pendlebury go into the back line in the 3rd quarter? I thought it would have been the 4th quarter. Can somebody check the AFL? Guys, can somebody check the AFL app? I need to know the stats that Scott Pendlebury had in that 4th quarter. Guys, I just need to quickly put my laptop on charge. In the meanwhile, leave a like on the stream if you can. If you're enjoying the stream, I'll just got to put my laptop on charge. Fourth quarter, there you go. So there was the move. So Josh Dacos to the middle probably didn't have the greatest impact in the 4th quarter, did he, Josh? Half back in the 4th. Intercept marks. I was saying to Benny, I go, why does it take a fucking 37-year-old to pull his shorts down so we can show everyone in the back half, hey, look how low my balls hang when I'm in the back half, and it's much the same in the front half. Why does everyone else's shrivel up and it takes a 37-year-old to say, I'm just going to play with my shorts put down to my ankles so they know how low I hang and how brave I am. 8 possessions at 100%. Scott Pendlebury, 8 disposals, 10 kicks, 1 handball, 2 marks. One of them would have been an intercept mark. Just needed to win. It's just one of those games. Just need to win. We've had a decent 2 weeks. If we look back at Adelaide and this game, we've had some ticks, individual ticks around. The spot fires are slowly just coming to an end. There's players like Goey who we were worried about. There were players like McCreary who we were worried about. There were players like Frampton, Darcy Moore, Dan Houston. Okay, are there still existing issues at individual levels? Jeremy Howe with the groin. It's unfortunate. I was going to say Bobby Hill, but it's a different conversation. We'll leave that. Dan McStay, we need McStay and Myercheck to probably lift by... I mean, McStay probably needs to lift by 30% if he wants to play a serious part in the final series. Myercheck, for the most part, has been pretty good for the large part of this season. However, a 10-15% improvement in hitting the scoreboard wouldn't go astray. Jamie Elliott, he's always trying hard, but when you play in a game that is slow in our forward half like tonight, of course Stephen May's going to win every one-on-one contest against him if it's on his head, if it's a one-on-one lead into a kick. Pendles went at 100% efficiency as well. Who do you think will replace Howie in the finals? Not too sure. Fly said post-game, Pendles mixed up positions, sent Josh, and he put himself out in the back line. Highest rated for last quarter in fantasy points. Fantasy points, I wouldn't read into that too much. Cox for Howe. JDG will explode. I mean, 25 touches and a goal. It just oozes class and oozes clutch time moments. That's what you need. Especially, guys, we're a team that don't necessarily dominate clearances, yeah? So the question is, can we have moments in centre bounces where we can score from them, perhaps? How are we as a centre bounce team for this year? Scores from centre bounce. Not great. We're below AFL average in 2025, yeah? You look back, if you want to go back as far as 2023, where that game was won in the end against Brisbane, it was from the centre bounce. It was from Goey. It was from Pendlebury. It was from Nick Dacos. We were the number one, guys, listen to this. We were the number one side for scores from centre bounce clearances in 2023. In 2025, with Geordie Goey out for the most part of the year, we're bottom 6 side from centre bounce scores. That's the difference. That's part of it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's the difference. In finals, they're huge because you get genuine one-on-one contests, and when the game's in motion, the entire field just feels flooded because of the atmosphere, because of the pressure, because of the level that is being asked that the players are needing to have to perform at. Can you sum up our season in one word? Well, the season's not over. So I'll say... what's a good word? Guys, that's a good question. What's the word? I don't have a word, but it's a great question. Inconsistent sounds like a bit of a cop-out. Yeah, I think we're just going to leave it. I think, I don't know, turbulent, frustrating, unfinished. I like that, Japan. Because the season still has a little bit more to play out, I'm going to go with Japan's one, unfinished. Possible, almost. Mood swing, cheeky. Loving the emojis, guys. Loving the emojis. Overstimulating. You heading to Adelaide? I don't know. Maybe we have to get a bus to Adelaide together. I don't know. If that is what ends up panning out for the first week of finals, we might have to bloody just get a bus and just fucking venture out to Manny's house. What'd you say, yo? Read my comment, Malaka. What did you say? Adelaide haven't been in finals since 2018. Who knows how they'll hold up against us? Not saying they can't win, but it's a whole different game. Of course, finals experience goes a long way. That's why teams like Gold Coast crumbled tonight against a Port Adelaide side who have succumbed to injuries and have had a poor year, but maybe that finals environment, playing for Ken, is what got them over the line, definitely. Same thing could go for Adelaide. Does anybody know the numbers? How many players at Adelaide have played finals footy? Adelaide are going to be fired up after the ranking thing. We are no chance. Nah, come on, kick back. We're every chance. Come on, mate. Could be playing Geelong if Hawthorn wins, mate. Whoever it is. Geelong at the G. Adelaide at fucking Adelaide Oval. I think our experience. Guys, do you not feel like, for me, beyond everything, beyond the result, beyond the performances, put that all to the side. For me, all I needed to see from this weekend was Collingwood securing the double chance. And if we secure the double chance, our experience, Nick Dacos, Jordan De Goey, trusting DC in our back half, I think that, I don't know, there's just something there. Just get us to the starting line of the final series with a double chance. And I think we'll go all right. In a season where the top 8 is extremely tight and incredibly competitive, we needed that double chance. It's not like 2024 where a Brisbane can come from outside the top 4 and do what they did. Look, they had to dodge a lot of bullets. I think they came back against GWS by 7, 8 goals in that prelim, wasn't it? Or the semi-final. So getting there with a double chance, being able to potentially drop a game, being able to win a game, win that qualifying final, and only have to play potentially 2 more games after that, that's what we needed. I mean, it sounds like common sense, but I'm saying beyond the variables that we are dealing with right now, some of the issues with our method, some of the players not available, the games not being convincing. I mean, when have we ever seen Collingwood play convincingly and pump teams comprehensively? Never. Even 2022, 2023, we just got over the line. So why are we less optimistic now going into a final series when we've had pure dominance throughout periods of this season? Why are we not going in with, okay, we can genuinely dominate a team, win by 40, 50 points and just put them to bed early. We've done that early in the season. And we can win close games over the course of the last 3 years. So taking that into 2025 with a wealth of experience from 2022, 2023, missing out 2024 and 2025. 308 viewers. Welcome, guys. Guys, if you are new to the live stream, we do live streams every single day. So if you want to be a part of this for the final series, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. It's a very tight-knit community here, and it's an open forum, guys. If you want to share an opinion, unpopular or not, good, bad, ugly, share it. No one's going to begrudge you for your opinion. We're not going to think of you or look at you any differently. We've had some difficult conversations on this live stream, and even if we go back to the Rankin one on Wednesday, that was quite topical, wasn't it? And while we all didn't agree, we could all shake hands at the end and say, look, agree to disagree. You have that view, I have this view. We'll move on. Shake hands. We got fucking the Collingwood and the D's to front up to. We set our mind. We make that mindset shift, and we put out all our eggs in beating the D's by 60. In the end, we only have to beat them by a goal. Port Adelaide do the job for us. Now we're laughing. Now we can have a cigar, kick back for a bit. Jeremy Howe needs to rest his groin. And whether it be Adelaide or Geelong, it is what it is. It is what it is. What will be, will be. Of course, Jeremy Howe's extremely important. Extremely important. But Jeremy Howe is extremely important when Billy Frampton and Darcy Moore play the way and the team, by extension, play the way that they did against the Brisbane, against the Hawthorn. But if Darcy Moore and Billy Frampton can play the way they did, tied in with our game plan working, forward half territory, tied in with Maynard, Quaynor, Perryman being huge, I think I'm saying we can get away with it. Is it ideal? No. We would love Jeremy Howard to play in the final series, if possible. But I'm not as concerned as I was a few weeks ago, because the big boys in the back line they're doing enough. And Billy Frampton was systematically one of our best players tonight. Put it that way. Full Deck, thank you for gifting the Pies Footy gift membership. Kev, Jen Loglau, welcome to the members club. And Full Deck, thank you for the donation again. I appreciate it. And then I think there was another donation here somewhere. AUJ, thank you for the $2 donation. Appreciate you. Do you feel we need to fix the congestion issues in our forward half? Feels like teams just flood and we don't make adjustments. It's a good question. What did I see? If I look back at the game and say, why are we not taking on that kick? Look, guys, is being brave this? In the first half, most of our brave kicks into the corridor were set plays. They parked DC in the corridor at the edge of the goal square, the edge of the center, the middle of the center square, and they put it on his head. That is high risk. I understand, there's probably going to be a mismatch there, but it's not like it's an inside kick to one of our midfielders who's going to be able to turn, give a handball to and a handball receive onto a halfback flanker, and we're on our merry way. It just seems forced when we are going corridor. And that's why this game can be so complicated at times, because you want to go fast, they go fast, and sometimes you go to DC in the middle and it's a set play and it's not ideal. Sometimes it's too predictable, and sometimes the kick is just off. You tell them to just kick it in, they kick it in, and the team is set up pretty well behind the ball, and they intercept and they slingshot and they go. What was noticeable, in the same breath, what was noticeable when we lacked a bit of dare, if we want to use that word, was we just hesitated. A couple times, especially in that first half, I felt like we took a mark in our forward half and we had an opportunity just to go, just get it in early. Just don't allow Stephen May to conduct and orchestrate in the back in the D50 and give them a chance to set up. That guy's a mastermind in the back half. That guy's been one of the best premier key defenders for the last 10 years. He's going to set up well if he has the time. Put it in early. Instead, we wait. And we're putting on ahead of an out-of-form McStay. Myercheck, who's had some more slender weeks. Jamie Elliott, who's on Stephen May. Yeah, we've also had a lot of drop marks as well. We've also had some drop marks. I can't recall a time where we've had as many dropped marks in the last few weeks. So there's that to consider. Benny Zero, mate. Thanks to the 5 Pies Footy gift memberships, and that means welcome. Let's see. Welcome Daniel Malia, Des Carter, Age Mal, Kronk Kong? Oh, Chabba Joe, there he is from Fancast. Welcome to the members club. We moved the ball too wide until last quarter when they went down the guts. It took a Scott Pendlebury to once again show his nuts. Pendles said we let the shackles go in the last quarter. Why play with them in the first place? Of course. Why can't we go? Why can't we, guys? Why can't we put up the rocker sign 5 minutes into the third quarter where it's just not working? Just go. Fucking go. If it creates a turnover in the middle, yeah, you cough it up, or maybe it creates chaos and it goes your way. The one bounce goes your way. But yeah, it's really painful watching this, kicking the ball up. It comes down with ice. It's just not a contemporary style of footy that is sustainable. So we just have to be braver. And it's just who's going to pull the trigger first. And Pendles in that last quarter said, "Fuck, I'm just going to take the game on." And 3 or 4 of his kicks would have all led to score involvements. I mean, how many score involvements did he end up finishing with? He had 6 score involvements. And guys, can you guys, by the way, tell me, I know you guys checked his fourth quarter stats, but how many score involvements did Scott Pendlebury have in that last quarter? I want to say, so he had 6 score involvements for the game. I'd like to think he had at least 3 score involvements for that last quarter. From memory. Mate, what about when Mike McStay had that ball, came down to it, fell into his arms just outside the goal square, takes an eternity to put it onto the boot. I think that was an exclamation point on the last few weeks he's had. The last few weeks have been from hell for him, but fortunately, he's somewhat vindicated himself when he took that mark and put the goal. Two score involvements. Should be more. Bo McCreary was huge in the last quarter after that foot test. Finishes with 8 score involvements. What else do he have? 18 touches. That's a big game for a Bugsy McCreary. 18 touches, 4 inside 50s, 8 score involvements, 2 goal assists. Fucking hell. Okay. I mean, he didn't have anywhere near the amount of tackles that we're normally accustomed to, but gee whiz, that's a Bo McCreary that I'd like to see week in, week out. Tackles. Nick Dacos. Team high, 8 tackles. Okay, I see you, Nick. Who we saw for a few days iced up. Bunch of peeps suggested Pendles down back about a week ago. There's the proof. Bang. All right. I think, you know what, though? As much as we love Pendles in that back half, I'm curious. I'll ask you guys in the chat. Like, I think it's like a Josh Dacos into the midfield. I think this is, should Pendles play, we'll say, let's just call it 50-50 mid and halfback. Yes. And Jacos more mid. No. Only break glass in case of EMG. All right. I think that's the right question with the right options. So should Pendles play 50-50 mid and halfback? Yes. And Jacos more midfield? No. Only a break glass in case of emergency. McCreary was quite good. Yeah, DC's tackle in the goal square, AB, late in that game, it looked like he got concussed, I'll be honest. I'm just saying. But that tackle to absorb that, I don't know if you knew much about absorbing or keeping the ball from falling loose, but it was a great tackle nonetheless. McCreary setting up the goal assist in the last quarter was exciting. He showed it was good composure. That was the Jamie Elliott sort of made like a hook lead into by the goal square. McCreary could have easily taken a shot and he didn't, and he lowered his eyes and found a Jamie Elliott, and I'm pretty sure Jamie Elliott kicked the goal on his left foot, didn't he? Longy, we haven't spoken about Longy, haven't we? I think there's been a few questions put forward about Ned Long. 17 touches, 5 tackles, 3 clearances, 3 score involvements. You know, I don't think I saw it from Ned Long tonight, but I saw it from a couple of players. I think, guys, these check side kicks need to calm down. Like, if your name is not Nick Dacos, if your name is not Geordie De Goey, if your name is not Scott Pendlebury, why are you not using your opposite foot? Was it Lockie Schultz who tried to kick a check side? in that last quarter. You're running in front of goal. You cannot kick a check side like that on that angle if you are not a superstar player. That's, to put it bluntly. Markov was doing it last year in our back half. Did my head in. Ned Long likes to do that. Why do we do that? Is that not becoming a frustration? Yeah, I think Long was okay. He wasn't amazing. I'll watch the game back and I'll let you guys know tomorrow. But as of right now, I'm not too sure. Let's see. Tim Van Coylen, are we happy with Ned Long over Mitchell going into the finals? Is the midfield mix set now? Just curious on your thoughts. Tim, firstly, thank you for the 5. It's a great question. I think as much as Ned Long isn't probably the... How do you word this without sounding like a cunt? For me, he's right now, he's out of form. He shouldn't be the guy that's playing as that second, third string in the midfield. But we don't have anything else. And I think, like you said, you're asking the question, Ned Long over Mitchell. I probably still keep Ned Long in because at least he can run on the outside. He can two-way run. At least he can apply tackles on the outside. At least he can also, I mean, Mitchell as well can do this, but he can absorb tackles inside the contest. I just don't think we have much option outside of Ned Long. And you don't want to upset the apple cart. The apple cart's already on shaky surface. So why throw another spanner in the works there? So I think you just have to persist with Ned Long. Hopefully with these critical games and high pressure moments and going to the final series, he can learn from this. And maybe he is tired this season. Maybe he is tired at this point of the season, his first full AFL season. So there's that. Does he have another purple patch? Does he have another spike? His season so far, could he have a season like Braden Sire? Like, I don't want to foreshadow something as negative as this, but could it be a Braden Sire year where he has this massive year and he's just a one season wonder? I'm not too sure. I'd hope not. I would like Ned Long to add to his disposal ability, to add to his composure. I think those are the parts in his games that he needs. Rangatang, thank you for the 5, brother. Stoked with the win. Devastated about Howie. Absolutely. We better sort out our mid to forward connection for next game. Just getting home now. MCG was loud. It was. Guys, 60,000 only? Come on. What are you guys doing on a Friday night? It's a do or die clash, no? It's a do or die clash, and we only 60,000 front up. Come on, surely we could get 70 on a Friday night where it's all laid out on the table. How out is hurting us, and the risk of bringing him back in and having to use a sub early in the game, not ideal. Tomo, mate, welcome. Is Pies Footy going to Adelaide in 2 weeks? Mate, it's a serious consideration. It is a serious consideration. Are we going to Adelaide, guys? Are we, would anybody be considering getting a bus together to Adelaide and watching it at a pub? Is that too much? Adelaide bus. Well, that's probably not as close as this trip to Sydney, is it? That shows my my knowledge of... God, I don't even know the word. I'm going to search it up before I make myself sound like an absolute spastic. What's the word? Fuck. What's the word when you know the... I'm not looking at the chat because I know you guys are probably telling what the word is. Come on, chat. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. I'm making an absolute meal of myself, but I'm gonna wear the cake on my face. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, mate. What are you gonna do about it? What does it mean when you have good knowledge of countries and locations? I can feel the fucking chat burning into my face right now. I promise you. Having good knowledge of countries means you have a strong grasp of geography. Okay? So it shows my geography ball knowledge. It's not quite there. Is it too far to take a bus to Adelaide? That's the question. Oh, Daniel will drive the bus? What was that whole motive going into one of the years when the idea was, if you're not on a bus, get off it. What year was that? I think that was driven by Buckley. It was like, get off the bus if you're not with us. What year was that? Surely you remember. 13 hours on a bus? Geographical memory. Collingwood party bus. Okay, let me ask. Bus to Adelaide and watch at a pub? Yes or no? All right, let's see. Let's see if we can garner some serious interest. We could watch at a Victorian pub. All right, let me end this. Hold on. Let me cook something up here. I've got an idea. I've got a better idea. What should we do for potential Adelaide qualifying final? Melbourne pub or / function room? Bus to Adelaide and watch at pub. Okay. What are we saying? Vic Park for the crow throw game? Warrandyte pub? Gee whiz, that's in the sticks, mate. That's east, isn't it? That's northeast, isn't it? Can't we go to the game? I mean, what? If there's 100 of us, a couple hundred of us, I'm sure not all of us are going to get tickets in Adelaide, are we? Let's see. Will Nick win the Brownlow? Mate, bigger fish to fry. Bigger fish to fry, Big C, surely. Surely we're not bothered about Nick winning the Brownlow right now. All right, Melbourne pub seems like it could be the option. Why drive to SA and not go to? Yeah, fair point. I see how logic comes to the forefront here. Pub then Revs. Anybody? I didn't say it. Matt did. Matt Dela Cruz in the chat said that, not me. Is there a chance we finish third? There is. I think if Brisbane beat Hawthorn, we finish third. Do you think Hill will leave us? Mate, like we've spoken about him so much. I think we've actually taken a bit of a backward step off that conversation because it just becomes repetitive and boring. If I'm being brutally honest, it really is. Let's just focus on this season. Let's focus on who we have right now, and then we can revisit the Bobby Hill conversation at the end of the season when it's all said and done. The Rosstown, the Rossi, that's my local, mate. Pink lemonade, nah. I think I think I can cook something up at the Rosstown. That's my local. I think we can cook something up there. Don't worry about that. Don't you fucking pricks put my name in shame though if we go to the Rosstown. That's my second home, okay? So you tread carefully, guys, yeah? Treat my house with respect. Hawthorn needs to beat Brisbane for third. Collingwood will have the game on the screen at their HQ, but not sure if they do that. They would or they should. Brisbane beat Hawks. Brisbane finished third. Carnegie, yes. Carnegie, the southeast, brother. The southeast, brother. Oakley Main Strip, Eaton Mall. We got a few Malakas that could probably... We got enough Malakas in this chat that we'd probably get the pass in there, wouldn't we? Go to Vanilla. Ella Vanilla. Nico's, if that's what you want. We can go to fucking... What's the other one? Melissa's. Or for you old Oakley guys, Baraba, that was a classic. Orexi for Slovakia, Kalimera, Dithelis. And if Hawthorn beat Brisbane and then Hawthorn ends up there, Our percentage went down. I know, crazy. That is Carnegie, Kev. Can we live stream Manny watching the game? If I live stream Manny watching any game that Collingwood play in any season, there would be no prize footy any longer. Not sure. Oh, so greatness. Can you? Let me go back to that comment. Thank you. 1 second. Greatness. So that get off the bus reference. It was in 2015. That reference was of Beams going to Brisbane in the 2014 trade period. Buck said something to the effect of, "If you want to get off the bus, then off you go, and we'll continue on." Brilliant. Sean's got serious pies knowledge. Would you rather finish third and face Geelong or fourth and face Adelaide? The pride, not the pride in me, the ultra competitive person in me says I want to go back to Adelaide and get one back over them. I want vengeance. I want to seek vengeance. I want to win a qualifying final in the most hostile environment against the premiership favourites. That's what I want. Does Geelong offer its own problems? Absolutely. I'm sure some of you probably wouldn't want to play Geelong and prefer to play Adelaide because it's seemingly an easier fixture, but I'd like to lean into the idea that Adelaide are the bee's knees. Let's play there. Let's lean into this narrative that the Adelaide Crows are the potential 2025 premiership winners in the end. Let's roll with that. Let's put the pressure on them. Let's make it feel like Collingwood have no expectations going into the game and all the pressure is on Adelaide. But let's be fully aware that there is still high expectations for our club. We are in the window to win now. Beams was asked a response and said, "Well, I guess I'm off the bus then." Strange how I can remember that, but not what I had for breakfast today. Mate, we remember some funny things, man. We remember some funny things, don't we? You know who I saw? It was a good omen. I was with Benny and my brother on South Bank, just by the Yarra River, and we were just waiting for our food. And I look, you know when you're sitting on the restaurants, as you're looking at the Yarra River, I sort of glimpse over to the pedestrian path. I go, fuck. I take a second like this. It's Fazzy boy. I go, Fazzy. Hey boys, go Pies. Yeah, Fazzy boy. The Faz. The Prince of Perth was here, guys. He was spotted on the Yarra River, walking by the Yarra River. And I think that's what got us the win and the top 4 in the end. The Faz. That was my omen, my good omen going into the game. We went to Breslin. For a cheeky steak, didn't we? We nearly beat Adelaide without Howe. Guess what? We're probably going to have to beat him without Howe again. Geelong feel like the final boss. Adelaide feel like the rival we need to get it back from first. I love that, Brendan. That's great. Geelong are our final boss. That's the demon we need to slay later that's the demon we'd like to slay later in the final series. If we could have it our way as fans. And then Adelaide is that team, that rival team right now where we'd like to get that one back. Waterfront also a good choice, says Benny. We need a big Cox to win. Hey, you know what, Troy? All the Collingwood players need to grow a big Cox going into the final series and learn from that quarter that Pendlebury had. Learn from those last 7 minutes that we had against the Crows in that last quarter. We all need big cocks because we're playing with tiny little shriveled ones at the moment, not being brave enough. Point to the air, long kick down the line. Come on, let's be braver with our footy. Let's go full rocker. Just because full rocker is all out late in the game, why can't we use that in periods throughout the course of the game? What should we do for the potential Adelaide qualifying final? Melbourne pub function room. Okay. Looks like, guys, if we play Adelaide in Adelaide, I'll be sure to organise some meet-up point for a watch along together. Got to play with more dare. 65 out rocker. Do we persist with McStay? I don't think we have any other options, to be brutally honest. I think we have to. We have to persist with McStay. We can't upset an apple cart that's already standing on unstable surface. I think we just have to roll with what we have right now, and I think it can be enough. Stefanos' omen tonight was a fly buzzing around in my lounge room during the first quarter. There you go. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys... Look, I know there's going to be a little bit of... what's the word? Discourse with how the post-game show may be ran moving forward. I wanted to try something different. I stated why I wanted to do this. If you haven't read the post in the community post, go ahead there and see my justification. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this type of format. At the very least, guys, if you guys want to jump on and have your opinion, I allow that through certain periods. I invite you guys throughout the course of the week, pre-game show. But if you really want to spend a lot of time, if you want to spend more time in front of the cameras, head over to Mick Sucker's channel. He's about to do a live stream at 12 a.m. and he's going to do fan cam. So if you guys, and he does fucking marathons. He does 4 or 5 hours, talk, chew the fat, smoke your cigarettes, have your coffees, do what you got to do. That's your spot for the fan cams. I would like you guys, though, to let me know if you enjoyed this type of format regarding whether we do fan cams or not. Personally, the reason I'm doing this because I enjoy this more, for being able to keep the conversations fresh, not repeating the same thing over and over, which can typically happen when you are doing fan cams. Some people come in and naturally they want to ask the same questions because they're curious, because they missed the last person. They're going to ask similar questions. Whereas this, we can keep it free flowing. And the fan cams, they're going to, if we keep persisting, they're going to extend to 2, 3, 4 hours into the night. And I'm not there for that, guys. I like comments and polls. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you all for your time here. Head over to Mick Sucker's channel. It is, let me see if I can get a link in. Give me 1 second. Chronicle Mick Sucker. So if you guys want to do that, I'll send you the link. Give me 1 second. All right. Mick's about to start his stream at 12. Paste. All right. There you go. There you go, guys. I'll leave you with it. And we'll see you tomorrow for fan takeaways. Keep an eye out for Instagram story to share your fan takeaways. And we'll be here at, I think we'll do a 6 p.m. stream tomorrow night. And as always, guys, go Pies.